In case you missed it or you're living under a rock, Rush is officially back. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson are hitting the road in 2026 for the 50-something tour. Their first tour in over a decade with drummer Anika Nilles behind the kit. And while this is one of the more exciting announcements I've heard over the years, there are also a few things about it that have me thinking deeper about legacy, creativity, representation, and really just the cost of being a fan today. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the tour first. The 50-something tour is a celebration of over 50 years of Rush's music and the life of the late, great Neil Peart. They're only hitting 7 cities so far, and most shows have already added multiple nights. And what makes it even more symbolic is that it all begins at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, which is the same place that Rush played their final show back in 2015. I'll be honest with you guys, I genuinely thought if Rush ever was gonna tour again, they were gonna do some kind of crazy Neil Peart hologram or something. The guys have always been adamant about, like, if there's not all 3 members on stage or in the studio, like, it's not Rush. So I'm both surprised and just genuinely excited about what's moving forward here. In the video that Rush posted, Geddy shared that his bass tech Scully had worked with Jeff Beck and told him about this incredible drummer named Anika Nilles. So when Geddy and Alex brought her into rehearsals in Canada, hearing their songs come to life again with her behind the kit really must have sparked something. I think this tour, number 1, it's awesome that we get to hear them again, but 2, it'll be a great way to honor Neil. Now let's talk about Anika Nilles. She's definitely one of the most respected and I would say in-demand drummers working today. She recently was with Jeff Beck and she's released multiple studio albums. Like, if you go on her YouTube channel, you will find tons and tons of videos of music that she has wrote and released, with drums kind of being the focal point of these recordings. But she has incredible session musicians playing with her on these songs. So I really, really suggest you go take a listen if you have not heard her yet. But she has built a reputation for playing a lot of complex and intricate music, but at the same time, it has such a perfect groove. And I think she's gonna fit in perfectly with the style of Rush. And I can't think of anybody else that would be a better fit. And I think what's even better is she's not out here as somebody who's just trying to be Neil Peart, and that's really what makes me most excited about this. I really would rather see Rush collaborate with somebody who brings a new perspective to playing than like a copycat Neil Peart drummer. I mean, there's thousands of them on the internet. I'm one of them. Her playing stands on its own, and she really has her own individual style. Now, some headlines are saying Anika Nilles joins Rush as their new drummer, like she's in the band, but I don't really think that's exactly accurate, at least as of now. Like, she's joining Geddy and Alex on the tour, but I don't necessarily think she'll be a permanent member. It kind of just depends what Rush decide to do moving forward. There's no mention of new music at this moment or her joining the band full time, as much as I want that to be the case. Now, with that said, I would love to hear new music from the 3 of them. Like, this tour is a really big deal, coming back after 11 years, but I mean, imagine if the 3 of them got in the studio together. The new music that they put out would be incredible, like, without a doubt. Geddy and Alex have spent like the last 40 years, roughly, of their career working with the same drummer. I mean, they did their solo projects like My Favorite Headache and Victor, but bringing a new creative identity into the band is really gonna spark innovation and push them to experiment in ways that they haven't and never would have, if Neil was still alive today. Even if they did a single song or just a short EP, I would be all there for it. I can't wait to go and see them, but as a diehard, I would love new music. There's also something that I think is really important too from the dudes in Rush. In a genre as male-dominated as rock music is, bringing Anika in is a statement in itself. Even if that wasn't the intention, she's one of the best drummers alive today. That symbolism, I think it still matters a lot, especially for young girls who want to become drummers or who already look up to figures like Anika Nilles. So seeing that she is able to go from playing on YouTube and Instagram and land a gig playing in a band as big as Rush is, I think that says a lot and is definitely inspiring for a lot of people. There's a YouTube creator that I follow, Lindsay Ray Ward, who actually put out an emotional reaction to the announcement. She talked about how rare it is to see a female drummer step into a legendary band like Rush, noting that while women like Sheila E. and Cindy Blackman have definitely paved the way It's still relatively uncommon to see a woman behind the kit in a mainstream rock act. She also said that this moment is massive for female musicians everywhere, and it's really an inspiring reminder that skill and confidence can break traditional barriers. I think her reaction captures what a lot of us are feeling right now. It's not just big news like for Rush and the Rush fans, but it's also a pretty big milestone for music and the industry as a whole. So the one thing that really was kind of a bummer for this tour, it's the ticket prices. Back in 2008, I saw Rush at the Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee for about $100. I know it's kind of been a long time since then, and production costs are probably higher, and this is probably the last big tour they'll probably do, but man, it's still hard to stomach those prices. I'm just one person, but there are tons of threads on r/Rush. One fan was talking about their old VIP ticket prices that used to get them near front row used to be about $350 a ticket, and I saw this as well. They were looking at the Closer to the Heart VIP package. Those tickets were about $1,300 each. 2 tickets to see Rush for over $2,600, that's actually insane. If there's anything I'm taking away from all this, it's that I think Rush is handling this the correct way. I love the idea of bringing in new talent. I know that they've said in the past that Rush isn't Rush without all 3 of them. I think it's okay, and I think Neil would also want this to continue onward as well. And I think he would be all about the idea of bringing on a drummer like Anika Nilles and not somebody that's just, you know, miming what he played in the past. I only got to see Rush 3 times in total with Neil. I'm glad that I'll get to see them another time in kind of a new form. Myself, as a drummer and a huge fan of Rush, I'm super excited. Like, Neil Peart was irreplaceable, and everybody knows that. But I really don't think the band is trying to replace him. I think they're gonna honor him really, really nicely with this tour. And Anika Nilles isn't there to fill his shoes. I think she's gonna carry the torch forward and just bring a whole new level of creativity and musicianship to the band. I'm actually very surprised at the reaction from the overall Rush fan community. There's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on in this fandom, and a lot of that revolves around the fact that these 3 guys are such powerful, influential, and inspiring players. Even just the suggestion of checking out another drummer often leads to a kind of, but they'll never be as good as Neil type of thinking. I have not seen any of that. For this whole experience, I kind of just wish that it was more accessible to people, because this is a lot of money and I'm gonna have to stretch to make this worth it. But either way, Rush is back. I know that not everybody is a fan of this band. Seeing Anika Nilles playing with them, I think is gonna be worth checking out. What do you guys think? Would you want to hear new music from the 3 of them? Or should this just be like a one-time tour kind of as a tribute to Neil? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.